out there.
What the hell is that?
What was that?
This unsettling clip was recorded by a man walking through snowy woods while staying with his family in a holiday bungalow deep in nature. It was December 20th, 2017, and everything seemed perfect. They were enjoying a cozy Christmas getaway, surrounded by beautiful snowy scenery. But suddenly, a terrifyingly loud sound echoed through the woods, sending chills down their spines. Without hesitation, the man started filming, knowing this was something he'd never heard before.
Fucking hell. Alright, okay. It's not an animal, is it?
The sound left them completely confused and terrified. It almost sounded like a whale trying to communicate underwater. But of course, that was impossible. The eerie, otherworldly noise hung in the air, sending chills down their spines and making the woods feel even more ominous with each passing second. Feeling unsafe, they quickly headed back to their bungalow, hearts pounding as the sound slowly faded into the vast, snowy wilderness. Once safely inside, they tried to shake off the fear, but the mystery of the sound stayed with them. What had they heard out there? Was it a rare animal or something far stranger? The questions kept swirling in their minds, and no matter what, the haunting memory of that sound stayed with them forever. With a fearless curiosity for the unknown, Moxley has made a name for himself exploring some of the most haunted and unsettling places across the UK. From abandoned hospitals filled with eerie silence to shadowy forests spoken of in local folklore, very little scares him. His mission is to document what lies beyond the veil and share it with his growing audience of thrill seekers and paranormal fans. In this video, Moxley sets out on a solo wild camping trip just outside the village of Rivington in England, an area rich with ghost stories and strange sightings. Locals talk about paranormal activity, chilling whispers in the trees, and even a headless horseman said to haunt the woods for generations. While Moxley hoped to make contact with something supernatural, what actually happened that night was nothing like he expected. It's March 28, 2025, and Moxley has just arrived at the forest where he plans to spend the night. As daylight fades, he ventures into the woods to find the perfect spot to pitch his tent, unaware that something completely different would make this night unforgettable.
You couldn't ask for a better place to pitch up for the night, especially out here doing a bit of paranormal ghost hunting as well. So hopefully it is an interesting night. One last look. Look at that. Good thing is, there is people over there camping. And if I camp here, on this bit of a beach, then at least I'll be able to keep an eye on them.
With his hammock in place and the last bit of daylight reflecting off the still lake, Moxley takes a deep breath and absorbs the peaceful surroundings. The quiet sunset and calm forest bring a rare sense of peace, even for someone used to facing the unknown. For a brief moment, he almost forgets his purpose, investigating the spirits rumored to haunt the area. But that calm is quickly broken. Strange noises start coming from deep within the woods, sharp, unnatural cracks, followed by faint, whisper-like sounds. The peaceful mood vanishes instantly as a familiar tension settles in, completely replacing the serenity he felt just moments before.
So I've been sat here a good 45 minutes now. I keep hearing movement in the woods behind me. The woods behind the camera, shall I say, in front of me. And again then. So I don't know if they're making their way over this side because they might have seen my light, or it could be other people coming down here. Right, I'm going to turn the light out. Hear that? Click, click, click. I know the seagulls are going. What the hell is that? It's almost like somebody was moving over there. Like somebody was walking through this, coming down here.
With the sound of seagulls echoing across the lake, it's hard to tell what's natural and what might be something more disturbing. Still, Moxley is certain he heard footsteps, slow, deliberate steps coming from the forest shadows. Even though there's no sign of anyone or anything nearby, he tries to brush it off, telling himself it could have been an animal or just his imagination. Hoping to bring back the calm, Moxley cooks a simple dinner and settles in as the last light fades. He reminds himself that the real investigation begins after dark. But just as he starts to relax again, something suddenly breaks the silence.
Right, so I'm literally just here in the hammock, and all of a sudden all I heard is bang, 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 like 3. It's literally what it sounded like, 3. So I looked over to where those other lads are camping. You can see the torches moving through the trees. And every now and then, just lay there, I can hear, granted it could be animals, but it's not constant. It's like going through the trees. And then when I sit up and look, nothing. But then there's those, which has put me on edge a little bit. So I'm going to pack the hammock up and I'm going to bugger off somewhere else, completely out the way from where these are. They've gone very quiet as well, which is a little bit concerning. But I think, yeah, get off this beach, get out, away from the open, and try and get further into the woods.
While Moxley is gathering his hammock and belongings to relocate to a spot that feels a bit safer, further from where the disturbing gunshots were heard, he's abruptly interrupted.
Who's there? Somebody's just flung. I seen it as well. I think, yeah, it was this one. Somebody's just lobbed that from over there. Hey! Who's there? I'm just trying to camp just like you lads. Flash over there. Yeah. See the flashing? Flashing over there. Yeah, they're coming this way. Let's see if I turn that out. Yeah. Might be able to see it now. There's flashing coming through the woods. Seems to be quite a few of them as well. Right. Okay. Maybe I'm not welcome here. I just need to get this last bit down and then I'm getting my out of this part. Trying to record as much of this as I can because I don't know what their intentions are. It might not even be the same lads, to be fair. Right, let's get this in the bag. I was just trying to relax for a bit until it goes absolutely pitch black. Maybe whoever's over there camps over there a lot and they just don't want me here. Well, they could just say, "What are you doing?" rather than flinging stuff at me. A bit pointless. But I know there's a few of them. There's only me, so you got to pick your battles, haven't you? You got to pick your battles. So the best bet is just to disappear, go somewhere else.
Although Moxley wasn't entirely sure what these people intended, someone throwing a stick in his direction made it clear he wasn't welcome. The peaceful vibe that had first drawn him to the spot was gone, replaced by an unsettling tension. Not wanting to take any chances, Moxley quickly packed up the rest of his gear and left, hoping to find a quieter, safer place to spend the night. But as he made his way down the narrow forest trail, it became obvious that whoever was bothering him wasn't done yet.
Right. Can still see torch lights in the distance. Let's just keep moving up this way. Let's just hope nobody's up this side. I do think there's a torchlight out there. I'm so sorry about the wind. It is mega windy up here. Should we go down? Alright, let's go down here. Can't see anything. I literally just got that gap. As I got out, I swear I heard it again, but this time it was closer, so I don't know if whoever is camping over there might have took a disliking to me in the trying to find me. And the last thing I want to be doing is getting caught, because I've got thousands of pounds worth of equipment on me as well. I really don't feel safe.
Moxley had come to investigate the paranormal, hoping to find something eerie hidden in the beauty of nature. But now, the only thing weighing on his mind was the presence of people lurking nearby. People who might be armed and whose intentions were unclear. What began as an exciting solo adventure had taken a dark turn, and the fear of being robbed, or worse, felt far more disturbing than any ghost story. Frustrated and on edge, Moxley realized he needed to get moving. Instead of taking the main trail back to his car, which would bring him too close to where those strangers had been, he chose a longer, tougher path through the dense forest, a detour that might help him stay out of sight. But the tension wasn't over yet.
And here's me walking through these woods where there's a sighting of a demonic headless horseman, and I've got some absolute strangers who I feel like are following me, because every now and then I can hear talking, and it's not like distance talking, it's like quite close to me as well. Is anybody there? I can literally see the lights. That is a high-powered torch as well.
Moxley eventually reached his car safely, and the moment he closed the door and started the engine, a sense of relief washed over him. The tension from the night slowly began to ease now that he was out of the forest. He couldn't help but feel disappointed. He had been eager to explore the local legends and maybe capture something paranormal, but instead, he found himself dealing with something even more disturbing. Real people who might have had bad intentions. Whether they were involved in something illegal or just playing a cruel prank remained unclear. But one thing was certain, Moxley's curiosity hadn't faded. He wasn't done with this place just yet. On January 4th, 2024, the case of Tommy Braley was finally closed. Tommy had gone missing back in 2017 from Brewer's Bar and Grill in Sumter, South Carolina, along with his silver BMW 325 CI. The case stayed unsolved for 7 years, and most people had given up hope of finding him. But Adam, a YouTuber who focuses on uncovering lost objects, artifacts, and missing persons through diving, decided to take on the case. He teamed up with another searcher named Jason, both determined to solve this long-standing mystery.
For the past years for Tommy, because he just basically vanished after leaving a Brewer's Bar and Grill in downtown Sumter, which has since closed by now. They had a lot of issues there, apparently fighting, and I've heard a lot of rumors about this bar. But he was out with his coworkers, having a good time. He left at like 2 a.m., vanished. He only had like a 15-minute drive back to his house, but neither him or his car has been seen since. So me and Jason, we've been checking so many places over the past few years for Tommy. Just all the signs to us point, when a car goes missing, you're in the woods or the water somewhere. There's a lot of woods, but by this time, usually hunters or somebody would have seen him if it was obvious. There's not a ton of water. There's a lot of little spots, and we're just, continuing to search. And you've been out here the past few days looking, right?
Yeah, I was here Saturday. It looks like it could be a car. I mean, it's a car-shaped object. Out towards this way. I don't know if they come around that curve here.
Yeah.
And like shot off right there, but I've seen no signs of car parts. But we're talking, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
So, people could have cleaned them up. I don't know. But, or they could come across right there and, ended up in there too.
Jason spent several days scanning the water using sonar technology. Eventually, he detected a car-shaped object near a bridge. Curious and hopeful, Adam sent down his underwater drone to get a closer look and confirm if there really was a vehicle submerged there.
I have my drone in the water. Got it set up on the app so you can see on the screen. We're gonna send her down and see what this object is. Let's go down. That's a car. I think so, dude. Wait a second.
Sure as hell looks like one to me.
It looks silver too.
Dude.
No way. It's gotta be him. A silver car right down. This is the first place you checked?
This is the first place I checked, but all I had was a freaking radio speaker magnet to check right over there.
We didn't even, I mean, it's so small we couldn't even run the sonar boat.
Right.
We just threw the magnet in and it's stuck right away. We don't know yet.
Yeah, let's...
But we have a silver vehicle right now. Window slightly cracked down.
This is not a spot somebody would dump something either. Somebody was moving fast to get over there.
Does that look like the right?
I don't know, can't tell.
Is it a 4-door?
That looks like a 4-door.
that
Yeah,
what-
his car is a 4-door though, wasn't it? The window's down, right? Looks like a driver's side window.
I mean, for this to get here though.
He had been moving. You're not gonna be able to tell anything. Go up.
I'm not trying
There's
to-
usually a logo right there at the top where the two grill pieces come together.
That's it. That's this BMW.
We found Tommy. I bet. That's gotta be Tommy. That's gotta be Tommy.
Dude.
Dude.
This case.
This is exactly where I want. The first place I looked was right here, but like I said, all I had was a rinky-dink magnet to throw in right here. Who knew he was going to make it all the way over here?
We probably checked every pond in Sumter.
Mm-hmm.
Every body of water, every boat ramp.
You
path home, right? I mean, this
this is this path
the
home.
curve.
That curve right there, either going too fast. He had to have been going too fast to wind up all the way over here.
Okay, let me try it. I don't want to say 100%. We know it's a silver BMW. Let me try to find a tag.
They discovered a BMW with human remains inside, which were later identified as Tommy's. Adam and Jason quickly alerted the authorities, and the car was recovered the following day. After 7 difficult years of searching and heartbreak, they were able to bring closure to Tommy's family and the community. Adam continues his work, still searching for missing people and solving cases. Honestly, the world could use more people like him. CJ Faison is used to camping alone, but during one overnight trip in New Jersey, things took a terrifying turn, so intense that he had no choice but to end the night early.
And my goal is to hopefully not get stalked or messed with at my campsite. It's becoming a weird common occurrence apparently around that area. There's a couple of people who reached out that live locally and were like, hey CJ, you know, listen, it kind of happens to a lot of people, especially during the weekdays. Today's a Monday, so on the website where I booked like the little campsite at, there's nobody else camping around me, which is probably good and bad. I don't really know.
CJ headed out to his campsite, but the forest he chose has a creepy backstory. Rumor has it that mobsters use the area for shady deals and hiding bodies.
I am semi set up right now. As you can see, got the van behind me. This is gonna be a good night. I've got the e-bike that I'm about to unload and kind of go and explore around. I see a piece of paper over there. Really not sure what that is. It's probably literally nothing, but man, there is nothing around me right now.
After getting there, CJ went for a bike ride to check out the area. Things were going smoothly until a truck rolled by and instantly gave him a bad feeling.
There's somebody right there.
As it got dark, CJ started hearing weird noises and noticed a bright light shining in the distance.
Okay, sorry everyone, that was weird, but all right, might be a little shy. That was an extremely bright light. A really big boom.
Even after checking things out several times, he couldn't find anything, and the night just kept getting darker and more unsettling.
His experiences here are not like the southern part of the Pine Barrens, so the whole area around here is really strange too. I don't love it by any means, but I don't know.
CJ was suddenly woken up by a loud bang against his truck. He looked out the window and scanned the area, but didn't see anything. Thinking it was nothing, he tried to relax and settle back in, until something else happened. CJ woke up once more, this time to a constant knocking noise. He was sure someone, or something, was outside, so he grabbed his weapon and went out to check it out. He looked around but didn't see anyone, so he figured it was just his imagination until something terrifying happened.
I'm here. I'm hearing stuff in my sleep. It's freaking cold out here. What the?
CJ spotted a mask hidden in a bush that definitely wasn't there before. Feeling unsafe, he decided to cut his night short and leave.
That's a mask. That's a mask. Hello? Hello? Listen everybody, I'm man enough to admit that I'm not comfortable at this campsite. And I'm over it, I'm done. I'm not staying here.
What do you think it was? Just a nasty prank? Or did someone have way darker intentions? Dan, the host of Cursed Urban, is no rookie when it comes to spooky adventures, but this time he's on his own, deep in a forest wrapped in legend and fear. It's a cold November night as he sets up camp in the infamous Wendigo Forest, a place famous for ghost stories, creepy happenings, and whispers about a creature called the Wendigo. At first, everything seems pretty normal.
Here today on another camping adventure. I got out here pretty early. As you can hear, there's still people around. Kids playing hide and seek, other campers, I think actually just packing up and leaving. Very.
Dan says hello to his viewers, sets up his tent, and cooks a meal over the fire. But as night falls and the forest grows quiet, things start to shift.
So I'm gonna try and find a location on that. And if I can, then we're gonna go out there this evening. No matter how far it is, but I don't know if I can find it. Did you guys hear that? That was a whistle. For sure coming from the trees. Very clear.
Out of nowhere, a sharp whistle cuts through the air from the trees behind him. Surprised, Dan whirls around, but there's nobody in sight.
The chance that there could be some guys like mountain biking back there, or, you know, some people still like walking. So it could just be them. That was really weird. That was a pretty loud whistle too. And we've been getting all those weird answers on Spirit Talker.
He does his best to stay calm while his spirit talker starts picking up weird signals. Following them, Dan comes across a secluded pond that's said to be where a young girl was murdered.
We're by the pond right here. And Spirit Talker did tell us that there is something by the water. I'm trying to hold this light. There we go. I just heard somebody walking. And when I shine the light over that way, it stopped. Hello? Hello? That's one of the things about this forest, like I said. People report hearing like footsteps behind them and somebody following them, and they turn around and nobody's there.
The locals believe her ghost still lingers around. While recording, Dan catches the sound of footsteps moving through the brush, then suddenly it goes quiet. He points his light into the darkness but sees nothing. Is it the spirit or something else? When he gets back to camp and things begin to settle, Dan is startled again out of nowhere.
What the? Dude, what was that? Trespassing, I will hear. Yo, dude, that... No way. No. Oh. Dude, that... What the... Dude, what... Yo, what are the chances of that? That was loud. That was stupid loud. And then as soon as that happened, I will hear...
A loud crack rings out through the forest, followed by a robotic voice from his spirit talker saying, "Trespassing, I will hear." Then comes another whistle, just like before, but much closer. Suddenly, the forest doesn't feel empty anymore.
Snow covered.
Guys, that was that exact same whistle that we heard.
Ominous warnings.
Ominous warning.
So I woke up. It sounded like something was hitting the top of my tent. Lantern won't work. Come on, you piece of come on. Yeah, the lantern's screwed. So it sounded like something was hitting the top of my tent. I'm sure you guys heard it. It was loud enough to wake me up. I know I was out. But my alarm didn't go off, so I haven't been out that long.
He nervously fumbles with his gear and scans the darkness ahead.
Maybe these pieces of wood? These sticks right here? Yeah, it sounded like something hit my tent. It was loud enough to wake me up. And it sounded like something was definitely walking around. We definitely hear those footsteps.
A figure briefly appears near his camp, but quickly disappears into the shadows. Feeling shaken, he retreats to his tent, where silence finally settles back in.
It's late. It's late. I didn't hear anything else. I sat around for a bit. And yeah, nothing. Didn't hear anything. Nothing came back to the site.
When dawn breaks, Dan packs up and leaves. He came out unharmed, but there's no doubt something was there. Whether it was a ghost, a local legend, or just someone else is still a mystery. What do you think Dan experienced in Wendigo Forest? Share your thoughts in the comments. The Hunting Public is a channel that showcases hunting adventures. The channel follows a group of hunters as they share their real-world experiences out in the field. In this particular episode, filmed on September 25th, 2022, Nick and Ted started their day early, trying to reach their hunting spot unnoticed. After waiting there for some time without any luck, they decided to relocate to a more secluded public area later in the afternoon. Once they got into position again, they resumed waiting. But what happened next was something truly frightening. Take a look.
Kind of looks like a fly or something in there. Good for him. He's gone.
Little friend.
Just out here living, you know?
Livin.
Just kidding.
The older you do get, people are going to try to tell you what to do. You just got to keep living, man.
Livin.
Yep, Wooderson said that. So me and Dad are set up. We ended up getting almost a mile and a half back in here. We're walking this ridge top like we were talking about. It ended up being 3 super fresh scrapes. I mean, they're just like completely pawed down. No leaves sitting on them or nothing. So we jumped up in a tree. Pretty dang high up in a tree. Yeah, real high. And we're actually like directly above one of the scrapes.
At first, it appeared to be just an angry man, uncertain whether he was shouting to release his frustration or arguing with someone. However, what happens next could reveal the true nature of the situation.
Right before that last gun, it sounded like a truck revving up or something, like in gravel, throwing gravel or something.
Yeah.
And then that was like, that one sounded like a rifle. That last one, like, all the other ones sounded like a handgun. That last one, like,
You could make out a few things they were saying. It wasn't good.
Things we won't repeat on here, but it was like blood-curdling screaming. I've never witnessed anybody screaming like that. imagine if we would have ended up warping them on it, how close we would be to that.
We might have been able to see it. That's terrifying.
That is wicked.
Well, hopefully nobody got. Sure sounded like somebody did.
Sounds like somebody might have got over there.
It honestly sounded like a murder. A man yelling, "I hate you," followed by several gunshots, then complete silence, all happening in a pretty remote area. Yeah, it was terrifying. They quickly got out of the woods, made it back to their car, and immediately called the authorities.
Yes, I've heard some stuff that I feel needs to be reported to the police department.
Okay.
Me and a buddy were hunting, and at about 6:45, we heard which is not uncommon, but then for 30 minutes straight or so, there was lots of screaming and just people, obscenities, and it sounded like something really bad was going on over there, and there was 20 or more ended up happening, and then I could hear vehicles taking off and coming to a halt, and we didn't know what to do, and we had no service, so we're trying to report and see if anything had been reported about there. I have pins dropped on a map about how far we were from where we think this was occurring.
After contacting the police, a few days went by, and they followed up to check for any new developments. However, the police were unable to uncover anything, and the case was ultimately closed. This raises questions. Was it actually a murder with the culprit covering their tracks, or just someone consumed by anger who needed to shout and fire shots to release their emotions? Honestly, I'm uncertain what to make of it. Share your thoughts with me. This video's from Small Plots, a YouTube channel where Kevin shares his unique camping trips. Whether he's stealth camping in a hammock or setting up a cozy base camp, his videos are fun, helpful, and real about the tough parts of camping. This trip was definitely one of those times. On November 2nd, 2023, Kevin planned to spend the night camping at a pretty unusual spot, the overgrown grounds of an abandoned hotel right near a city neighborhood. He parked his car in a safer, busier area a bit away and then walked over. Even though he was excited to check out the place, he couldn't shake the uneasy feeling since the area was kinda sketchy.
Okay, I'm getting close to where I want to jump in to the forest, kind of near those storage tanks of some kind of petroleum product. I haven't seen a soul back here, so I'm just gonna go. Oh yeah. There's definitely some slip marks here. They are probably from deer though, it's tough to tell. Down there is the abandoned hotel. It closed, I don't know, roughly 3-4 years ago. It does have security. I've seen security driving around in a little car with like a little light on it. I'm sure they're worried about people breaking in to the hotel more than they are about me camping next to it. But I do want to keep a low profile. I don't want anybody to get a little itchy calling the cops finger.
Now Kevin needs to find the perfect spot to set up camp for the night and get comfortable. He finally picks a quiet, sheltered place and starts pitching his tent, organizing his stuff, and making a cozy little setup for the evening. Things are going well, and Kevin feels relaxed, even as the sky darkens and the rain begins to fall. Instead of letting the rain ruin his mood, he leans into it, chilling with a drink while listening to the soothing sound of rain tapping on his tent. But then, out of nowhere, something disrupts the calm and changes the whole vibe in a flash.
A little tour of the tent, eh? As you can see, here's my sleeping pad. Not in its final configuration. As you can see, it's up on some rocks and stuff there, so I'll turn it diagonally. And then behind me is just endless darkness. As you can see, that's where my pack and stuff is. Rain's really starting to pick up. Just kind of hanging out, enjoying my space kitty. There's got to be a rain alarm for the airport right over there. I've heard that before when I've been camping in the vicinity while it was raining. And they're like, oh God! Something just ran by the tent. It was the lights in my eyes, I couldn't see anything.
Suddenly, Kevin is startled by something rushing past his tent, too fast and way too close. He freezes, thinking it might be just an animal, but something feels off. The movement had weight, like it wasn't just a raccoon or curious fox. That uneasy feeling starts creeping in. This abandoned hotel lot is in a sketchy part of town, known for some crime and nearby homeless camps, so that thought sticks with him. Trying to stay calm, Kevin takes a deep breath, grabs his flashlight, unzips his tent, and steps out into the rainy night, scanning the darkness for any sign someone or something is watching.
I don't see any eyes looking back. I don't think. Wait, I just thought I did. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Between the Eerie alarm happening over at the airport and whatever it was that just ran past me about 3-4 feet in front of me, I think it's safe to say I'm a little bit on edge. The only thing that makes me think it wasn't a deer was I didn't hear any crashing before or afterwards. Deer are not like that subtle. And I didn't hear any crashing before it came in. Maybe when I listen to the video I will. But I didn't hear any crashing before or after. I just heard something run past me. I'm sure the camera picked it up. It was like right there. Whew. Eerie.
Kevin couldn't stop constantly looking around. His gut feeling just wouldn't go away. Packing up and leaving wasn't really an option since the rain was still coming down, and he didn't want to walk through that sketchy neighborhood in the dark. So he decided to stay put and try to get back to that chill vibe he had earlier. But the rest of the night felt different. That creepy tension stuck around, and the feeling that someone was watching him never left. Every little rustle or snap of a branch seemed way louder, making it almost impossible to fall asleep. When the sun finally started rising and painted the sky, Kevin felt like he could finally relax again. Still, he couldn't shake off the mystery of what had rushed past his tent. Whether it was something harmless or something scary, one thing was for sure: it left an impression. Dan set out on what was meant to be a routine solo camping trip deep in a secluded forest, but by night's end, it had become the most frightening experience he'd ever had. He arrived in the late afternoon and pitched his tent beside a quiet lake. The area was so remote, he was the only one at the entire campground. At first, he enjoyed the solitude, documenting his setup, collecting firewood, and getting ready to explore. Before sunset, Dan wandered the nearby trails to get familiar with the surroundings. Once darkness settled in, he lit a fire and kicked off a paranormal investigation using different ghost hunting tools and apps. The Spirit Talker app began delivering eerie, cryptic messages, marking the start of something far more unsettling.
Start up. Some necrometer. Actually, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do Spirit Talker first. We're gonna use Spirit Talker, see how that works out for us. If it doesn't, then we'll go ahead, we'll switch to necrometer and see if that works out any better for us. So there we go. Now we're cooking. But we were getting a lot of good answers with Spirit Talker a little bit earlier, so I'm hoping that continues. So we got it up and running. I need to bring I got a little Bluetooth speaker at home. I'm gonna bring that Bluetooth speaker with, and I'm gonna set it up like on the table or closer to the camera, so when this pronounces an answer, it'll send it over to So no responses yet. Complete silence on Spirit. Lad. Okay. So we got Patty before. Now we got Lad. Actually, I don't know if that means anything or not. Two like that UK sounding words each time we started Spirit Talker. Feel.
the ghost hunting apps started spitting out creepy phrases like, "You are trespassing," and "There are demons." At first, Dan brushed them off, not taking things too seriously. That changed quickly. Just as he was settling in by the fire, 2 loud gunshots rang out somewhere in the distance. It immediately put him on high alert. There weren't supposed to be hunters in the area, especially not this late at night. The possibility that it wasn't a hunter, or even a person at all, sent a shiver down his spine. Trying to stay calm, Dan chose to stick it out and kept using his ghost hunting apps. But the creepy messages kept coming. One that read, "You will see me," really shook him, making the whole experience feel way more real and far more disturbing.
Did you hear my voice? No, I didn't. Could you maybe, I'm sorry if I didn't hear you. Could you maybe say something else? Yo, what was that? Dude, that was straight up like a growl coming from back there. Coming from straight that way. Dude, that came from right behind me. Right behind me. Like maybe over there? Oh, I don't know what that was. That's unreal. Dude, that makes me nervous. That makes me real nervous. I don't see anything, but that sounded just like a very low, very guttural, like growl, like growling noise. Dude, I don't like that at all. Right after it says move backwards too. Move backwards. A couple seconds pass if we hear that. We haven't gotten anything else from Read the Note.
Not long after, Dan heard a deep, low growl coming from just beyond the glow of his fire. It was unmistakable. Something big was out there. Wanting to stir up more activity, and maybe get some answers, he blew into an Aztec death whistle, a small instrument known for its unsettling sound and often used in paranormal investigations. But instead of a response, the entire forest went dead quiet. No wind, no insects, no animal calls. Just an eerie, unnatural stillness. Dan debated whether he should pack up and leave, but in the end, he decided to stay and try to get some rest. He set up a night vision camera outside his tent, just in case anything happened while he was asleep. About 45 minutes later, as he was just starting to drift off, he heard movement outside. At first, it sounded like small rustling, maybe an animal sniffing around the camp, but then it changed. Heavy, deliberate footsteps began circling his tent. They sounded human. His heart racing, Dan grabbed his camera and called out, but got no response.
And then I heard footsteps right over here. Yeah, it sounded like they walked right by my tent. Hello? Hello? Dude, I don't like that. Because that's what I heard. That's what first kind of woke me up. Is it sounded like somebody was shuffling around out here. Something was shuffling around out here, and I was like, okay, it's probably, a possum, raccoon, whatever, but I didn't have any food or anything out here that they'd want. And then that's when I woke up. I started filming just in case. And then yeah, it sounded like somebody like maybe they stumbled into it, or something stumbled into this and it came over here and then walked right by my tent, because I know you guys could hear those footsteps.
Dan's camping chair had been moved several feet from where he had left it. There were large footprints in the dirt leading away from the chair into the woods, and whatever made them seemed to be dragging its feet. Dan first thought someone was playing a prank on him, but that would mean sneaking around silently in complete darkness. Trying to stay calm, he set up his night vision camera again and went back to his tent. Just as he was starting to relax, a noise outside suddenly woke him up. This time, it wasn't just footsteps. It sounded like someone was trying to unzip his tent. Dan sat up quickly, his heart pounding. He heard faint rustling as if fingers were pulling on the tent's zipper. He froze, barely breathing, listening closely. Then, with a rush of adrenaline, he shouted.
Yo, who the is out there? Dude. Who are you? What the? Dude, who's out here? Hello?
The rustling stopped, and Dan held his flashlight tight, but whoever or whatever was outside had disappeared into the darkness. That was the final straw. Dan quickly gathered his things, put out his fire, and decided he couldn't stay any longer. As he hurried to his car, he realized how completely alone he was. No other campers, no rangers nearby, just an empty forest, and the unsettling feeling that something had been watching him all night. Later, he regretted using the Aztec death whistle, sensing it might have attracted something to his campsite, something lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment. Dan left the forest that night shaken, fully convinced he'd experienced something unexplainable. Sam, the YouTuber behind Northwest Wind, is no stranger to stealth camping. In this video, he heads back to a spooky forest where, on a past trip, he was chased by some unknown people.
Here tonight, gonna attempt to stay the night here. Got a nice dinner to be prepared, something I've never tried before. Gonna sleep under the stars, and hopefully it'll go better than last time. I don't think it could go much worse, and if it does, you'll probably never see these clips.
Resolved to have another go, Sam headed back to the place where he last camped.
Not want to, nor do I want to be here right now at all. Honestly, I've got the Schwilly McGillies. I figured a lot of people want to see it, so we're gonna give this a fair shake. The tent, this is it. Yeah, that's it. The old abandoned tent. And yeah, I remember I'd set up all my gear against this tree. All right, well, we're back. All right, now my heart's racing really bad because it's moist, hot, and I'm...
After getting settled, Sam couldn't get rid of the creepy vibe around him. He mentioned there was a strange smell in the air he couldn't quite place. Still, he kept going and tried to ignore the feeling.
Vibe here, and I don't like it at all. There's also a very weird smell, not like rotting or like something, but just like some kind of smell. I don't know what it is. It smells like a lot of vegetables, but not fresh. I don't know how to describe the smell. There's a smell here. I don't know. There's people talking for sure. And I hear people walking too. Might not be easy to pick up on the camera, but not that far behind me.
His night took a scary turn when he realized he wasn't alone. The noise of people nearby immediately put him on edge.
Just finished dinner and the sun's down. There's definitely people walking over there. The first sign of anyone getting remotely close to me, but it's about 200 yards away. There's definitely somebody there. I'm trying to not be quiet on purpose so they know that I'm here. Holy crap, okay. There, somebody's... Hi. Hi. Now they're looking over here.
As Sam looked around, he noticed someone watching him from a distance. He called out, "Hi," several times to show he was there, but didn't get any response.
I think they're just toying with me now. They know that I'm here. They know that I know that they're here. I'm like nervous and I've got like the shakes, but I'm not like terrified like I was last time. Okay, oh, okay. Yeah, I just saw somebody. It's the same person. I see you. And they were right over there where I was pointing before, and they just walked over more onto this side. Hi.
The person nearby kept getting closer, and Sam soon realized he was being followed by more than one individual. Their intentions seemed clearly malicious, so Sam packed up quickly, and then this happened.
Haven't heard anything for a few minutes. Hi, I see you standing there. All right, they're closer than they were before. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna stay tonight, boys and girls. Ah! Okay, okay. All right, okay. That guy was right. Okay, let's go. All right, I'm out. See ya.
Sam got away safely, but the terrifying experience made it clear he wouldn't be coming back to those woods. This video is from a YouTube channel called Hunting the Unknown, which focuses on exploring haunted places and sharing spooky paranormal stories. On February 16th, 2023, Alex and Tony visit Daring Woods in Kent, also known as the Screaming Forest, one of the most haunted forests in Europe. The forest has a dark past, including a mass grave discovered in the 1940s containing 20 unidentified bodies. Over time, it has been linked to strange deaths, disappearances, and tales of highwaymen who were allegedly executed there. What truly gives the forest its chilling name are the terrifying screams people claim to hear echoing through the trees. Right after Alex and Tony step inside, they begin to feel uneasy, with ringing in their ears and a strong feeling that something is wrong.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's just weird, man. My ears are ringing like mad.
What's that?
What?
Did you hear that, bro?
What are you on about? Oh my god, it started beeping in my pocket.
Got a growl.
Really?
Yeah. Right. I swear to God, bro.
And when you said that, this went off in my pocket.
Where are you? Where are you?
Who's here with us? Can you come forward? Are you the soldier? Did you forest? If so, can you give us a sign?
The EMF meter keeps spiking, and weird noises fill the air, making the whole vibe even more intense. Things get even creepier when a faint scream echoes in the distance, quiet but enough to give you chills.
Can you come towards the light? Do you think there's any like barracks here close to here? Apprentice. What the was that, man? Did you hear that? That was weird, wasn't it?
Wow.
Did you hear that, yeah?
Is that you?
Hello? Did you hear that?
Did you seriously hear that though, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you? What the man?
They start hearing more eerie sounds, including soft whispers, like something invisible is trying to reach out and communicate.
Wow. Is that you? Did you these woods? Were you buried in these woods? Can you scream for us? Are you the person who screams, the entity? The highwaymen? That's like a man's scream. Oh my god, man. Scream. You hear that gang? Oh, I thought I heard like a male scream and like a female scream. Are you the highwaymen? Just keep walking, man. At least you're hearing that as well, though. Yeah. So they communicate with us.
One of them thinks he spots a shadowy figure, but when he looks back, it's gone.
Whispering. Yeah. I can't work out what they're saying now. Why is it still ringing, man? Proper. Hi. I swear I just see something over there. I thought I just see someone stood there, man. I know this is me, like, my eyes, like my mind playing tricks on me, but I'm pretty sure I just see something there. Hello? Hello, in these woods? We get buried in these. You got to think, over the centuries, how many people have been here? Yeah, this would have been like an old road here. Yeah, this could have been an old highway road, saying that. Yeah. They would have come down through their horse and carts and stuff. Yeah. And they're like robbing to jump out. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Rob them up. Apparently they're doing so much, the locals had enough of it and they hunted them down.
The distant screams go on, sounding like either a warning or an invitation. Could there be someone or something keeping an eye on them? Are the creepy stories about the screaming forest actually real? The Blue Mountains in Australia are known for their rivers, tall eucalyptus trees, and quiet, wild beauty. Scotty, an experienced adventurer and the man behind the YouTube channel Scotty's Gone Walkabout, set out on a solo camping and fly fishing trip. With his gear and camera, he planned to catch trout and enjoy nature. At first, everything felt normal. He reached the river early, took in the peaceful view, and started hiking downstream. The sounds of spring, birds, insects, and flowing water surrounded him. He tried fishing for hours, but only saw carp, not the trout he was after. Still, the views were worth it. Tall trees, twisted roots, and clear water. As the sun went down, he looked for a place to camp. One spot near a water hole looked perfect, but something about it felt wrong. The silence was heavy, and the trees felt too close. Trusting his instincts, he moved on and picked a safer, less scenic spot. He set up camp quickly and lit a fire. The night was quiet at first. After dinner, he relaxed under the stars. But later in his tent, things changed. It started with small noises, leaves rustling, a branch snapping. At first, he thought it was animals, but then the sounds turned into clear, steady footsteps. Scotty froze, realizing something or someone was moving around his camp.
You guys hear that? That just... What is that? That just gave me the biggest chills. Oh man, my hairs on the back of my head just like stood up. It's coming from over there. I don't know what that sound is. I think it stops. If you guys know what that is, please leave a comment. This is going to be an interesting night. I think I might be sleeping with my knife pretty close to me. See you guys in the morning. Oh, they're so creepy.
Scotty's heart raced inside the tent. The thin fabric felt useless against whatever was outside. He grabbed his flashlight but didn't turn it on. Part of him didn't want to see. The footsteps stopped right outside. He held his breath, wondering if it was a person, an animal, or something else. Then, slowly, the steps moved away into the bush. He stayed awake the rest of the night, listening. Nothing came back. In the morning, he stepped out, still shaken. The campsite looked normal, like nothing had happened. He searched the area but found no tracks or signs. Still, he couldn't shake the feeling that something had been watching him. Scotty never found out what came to his camp that night, but he knew he'd never forget it. Kat is a passionate nature lover who truly finds peace in the great outdoors. Whether she's wild camping, practicing bushcraft, or foraging, she fully embraces the solitude and raw beauty that nature offers. Through her YouTube channel, Wildcat Adventures, she takes her viewers along on her lighthearted but often rugged wilderness journeys. In this clip, Kat heads out for a peaceful solo camp on Saddleworth Moor, a vast moorland in northwest England. But what starts as a calm getaway soon takes an unexpected and risky turn. It's September 12th, 2024, and Kat arrives at the tranquil landscape, hiking toward the old ruins of Bramley's Cot, nestled among the rolling moors. It's the perfect spot to set up camp for the night, with stunning views, warm weather, and nature all around.
I'm going, guys, because I think I can see smoke coming over that way. It's really windy, it's dry, it's been a sunny Saturday. Conditions are just too ripe and I'm in too vulnerable a position here. So yeah, just feeling a little bit too anxious. I don't think I'm going to settle here, so I'm going to head back down just to be on the safe side. You know, when you just got a gut feeling that something's off. Like, it isn't just me, is it? You can see that there's sort of a plume of smoke coming up centre screen, roughly. Even the grass have come down, look. They know what's good for them. You see, it still is coming over. It's like a dirty smudge of cloud as well. Such a shame I missed an epic sunset.
Kat's gut about the fire risk was right when she spotted a thin trail of smoke rising over the distant ridge. Realizing she needed to act, she packed up, feeling disappointed, and started the long walk back, hoping the further she got from the smoke, the safer she'd feel. After a tiring 2-hour descent, she decided to scrap her plans completely and head straight to her car. Once inside, a wave of disappointment hit her, wondering if maybe she had overreacted, but as she drove away, something caught her eye that instantly erased all those uneasy feelings.
You are not going to believe this. I was actually right. There is a moorland fire. That's what I could see. I could see the smoke. Right, I don't know, I can't see any fire brigade on it, so I'll call 999, I suppose, and let them know. Probably other people have already. I still, honestly, I can't believe that. That's crazy. I'm so glad that I trusted my instincts, because I had this thought, what if it's perfect conditions for it? And I went up and had a little look and I thought, oh, that looks a little bit like smoke. But I thought, to be honest, I really thought that I was being paranoid. But no, and there it is.
This finding confirmed to Kat that she made the right decision. She wasn't overthinking it. By listening to her instincts, she likely avoided a serious threat. Had she stayed in the hills while the fire was spreading, there's no way to know if she would have gotten out safely. It served as a powerful reminder that when something feels off, it probably is. Meet Jasko, the creator behind the well-known YouTube channel Jasko, famous for his creepy and intense content. He's made a name for himself by camping in haunted woods, exploring abandoned places with dark histories, and doing whatever it takes to deliver eerie footage to his viewers. In this video, Jasko teams up with his friend Chris for a risky overnight stay in a forest that's rumored to be the most haunted spot in New York. The area has a grim reputation. Multiple bodies have reportedly been found there, and it's known for both paranormal encounters and criminal activity. Still, Jasko and Chris are determined to investigate and, with any luck, catch something truly terrifying on camera. It's October 20th, 2024, and the two friends arrive at the notorious forest just before sunset. They take some time to explore and pick the best place to park their camper for the night. Once that's done, they head out on a short walk to get a better sense of the area before night fully sets in.
Now, it is very scary just thinking about the fact that I don't have the Chris does, but that's why we're doing this while it's still kind of bright out. Okay, so this is like a direct entry to the water, I suppose. Yeah, cool. And that keeps going that way. All right, I'm assuming people have fished here. I see some, yeah, supplies and whatnot. Some very bad things have happened out here. There have even been claims of like a potential serial killer who used to bring his victims out here, and it's very scary to even think about. There's like one case that's still open. I think it's called like the smiley face case. What is? It's strange.
Hearing distant sirens echo through the forest, Chris and Jasko decide it's safer to return to their camper. As the darkness deepens, they focus on making dinner, trying to shake off the growing eerie feeling. Despite the unsettling vibe, nothing definite has happened yet. Nothing that would prove the scary tales about the woods. It feels like just another cold, quiet night. Later, Chris and Jasko explore a little more, hoping to find something unusual. But the forest stays quiet, and their search comes up empty. They eventually give up and settle in their camper to rest. But just as they expect a calm night, things suddenly take a frightening turn.
Extra fucking car, bro. Guys. What is stopping? Guys. What's he doing? Probably stopping. Can you please grab the... Yeah, hold on. He stopped right in front of us. He's literally here. Bro. What's he doing? Still got him? Bro, what the? Where'd he go? He's driving off right now, but whoa, what the hell was that? I don't know. What the hell was that about? I'm glad you saw that. Bro, the van's on. Yeah, he just stopped.
For a bit, they both felt pretty uneasy and confused. They were way out in the forest, far from any trails, and it's not normal for a car to roll through here at night, especially to stop right by their camper like it was checking them out. Even though the car eventually drove off, that weird feeling stuck with them. The fact that someone knew exactly where they were camping made Chris and Jasko rethink their plans. After a quick pause, they decided to just pack up and head out, figuring their safety wasn't worth the risk. This footage follows an adventurous backpacking and overnight camping trip to Devil's Lake, a place known for its spooky paranormal stories and stunning natural scenery. The trip takes place over 2 days, with the narrator trekking through thick forests, steep cliffs, and eerie trails. When the camper arrives at Devil's Lake, he describes its haunting beauty and shares its history, including Native American roots when it was called the Holy Land before it got its more ominous name. The campground itself is huge, with rocky bluffs, dense woods, and trails that have had reports of shadowy figures and ghostly growls. A chance meeting with a regular visitor at the site confirms the spooky reputation. The visitor shares stories about shadowy ghosts and strange noises, making the narrator feel both excited and a bit on edge.
As part of the campground before, and some guy commented on my shirt and he asked if I was a ghost hunter. I'm like, so I explained to him that I have a YouTube channel and what I was here for, and as a matter of fact, the guy has been here. He's been coming here for 30 years in this very campground in this area that I'm in, because this place is huge. He said he's had experiences here throughout his whole 30 years, and that's why he comes here. So he actually went and subscribed to my channel as I was talking to him. He was on his phone and he subscribed to me. So thanks, man. I didn't catch your name, but thank you so much. He said there's a lot of shadow figures in the site that I'm at, or in this general area. People have experienced all sorts of things in here. Growls, yes, those could be animals, especially the shadow figures are a thing here, and that's what I'm going to be investigating tonight on site.
The camper starts his hike into the thick forest, where the trails are tough with steep slopes and tricky rocks. He talks about feeling like something's watching him, and the spooky vibe grows stronger as it gets darker. Even though he feels uneasy, he's determined to check out some key spots, like Balance Rock, a big boulder that's famous both geologically and spiritually. As night falls, the whole place feels even creepier. He hears strange sounds, like rocks tumbling and faint whispers.
It's over here, I heard something. Could have been a rock that fell. What was that? I heard something over here walking before.
His flashlight sometimes catches movement in the shadows, which definitely adds to the suspense. At one point, he thinks he sees glowing eyes staring back at him in the dark, which really shakes him up. He stays alert, aware both of the area's spooky reputation and the real danger from wildlife like bobcats or cougars. Even though he's scared, he keeps recording everything. After hours of hiking, he finally gets back to camp, completely wiped out from both the physical effort and the creepy experience. He settles into his tent for the night and sets up a night vision camera, hoping to catch any paranormal activity while he sleeps. The campground is quieter now, but distant voices and nature sounds still drift through the air. The next morning, the camper sets out for another climb, this time to the famous Balance Rock. The trail is steep and tough, but in daylight, everything feels much safer and clearer. When he reaches Balance Rock, he captures some amazing footage of the area: dramatic cliffs, thick forests, and the calm waters of Devil's Lake. He feels a mix of relief and pride, glad to have explored such a unique and challenging spot. Overall, the trip was a blend of tough hiking, stunning nature, and a touch of eerie mystery. Claire, a nature-loving solo mom who enjoys hiking and camping whenever she gets the chance, usually shares calm, relaxing videos filled with serene nature scenes. But for Halloween, she decided to do something different, camping near an old church with a creepy past tied to rumored satanic rituals. Let's just say, this night didn't turn out like her usual peaceful adventures.
Weird stuff's happened here. Apart from some odd noises, I can't report of anything so far. While we're on the subject of weird stuff, there is a controversial video of what is claimed to be a ghost in St Mary's Church, taken in 2016, and it shows a black hooded figure walking past the door of the church. So if you Google Clophill Church monk ghost, I'm sure that will come up. And it's a really creepy video actually, but you know, that could quite easily have been staged. So, but for you guys that like the ghost stuff, have a look at that. So that's quite fun. Okay. I've lost my bed. How have I lost my bed? Getting into a bivvy bag is always such a graceful thing. So plumpy. There's the moon. So pretty. Good night, wild ones. See you in the morning. You see the red eyes over there? I'm just going to assume they were deer eyes. Freaky. Really freaky. I don't like the red eyes. I keep telling myself it's just because I had my red light on my head torch, that's why the eyes look red. And if I had the white light on, they would have just been white.
Do you think it was just an animal circling around her, or something way more creepy? Honestly, I'm leaning toward it being an animal. Those red eyes could have just been a reflection from the red light on her headlamp. That can really make animal eyes look super eerie. But yeah, that doesn't make it any less freaky. What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. In May 2021, James, the creator of the YouTube channel Junkyard Fox, headed out for a quiet night in the West Texas desert. He was going back to a primitive shelter he'd built himself using only natural desert materials like yucca stalks, dry grass, rocks, and creosote. This wasn't his first time there. James had camped at this spot before, and this trip was supposed to be just another peaceful escape under the open sky.
Grounds, because I'm going to be spending the night in my primitive shelter. So for those of you who are not caught up, a couple months back, I want to say about 2 months ago, possibly 3 months ago, I filmed a video where I made a primitive shelter solely out of desert materials like yucca stalks, creosote, rocks, dead grass, so on and so forth. Okay, folks, so here is my camp. As you can tell, there's been a lot of winds. That's something a lot of people don't realize, but out in the open desert, I mean, we get some 30-mile-an-hour winds sometimes. And of course, the shelter is going to need to constantly be updated and, renovated, right? Like any home. Yeah, luckily, at first when I got here, I was sweating buckets. But look, check it out. It's starting to get nice and gloomy, so we may see a little bit of rain later.
As the sun set, James strengthened his shelter to get ready for the rough weather. Strong winds and occasional rain are typical in the desert, so he hoped his basic shelter would stand up to it.
Well, here comes the storm. The winds are really strong. I can feel some raindrops, so yeah, it's only a matter of time. Luckily, I did finish my shelter. Once again, not the greatest, but I got the bedding in there. I managed to make the door somewhat improved over earlier, and the patching is done, so worst comes to worst, I'll just...
The storm passed with little issue, and James settled down, made a simple dinner by the fire, and prepared to sleep. However, sometime after midnight, the peaceful night abruptly turned intense.
Okay, folks, so change of plans. I was asleep for 2 hours, then I woke up to a truck driving nearby, and my truck. They legitimately windows on my truck. People I don't know. This is crazy. Look, these are my windows. This is insane. Once again, I have no clue who these people are. They're just drunks. I could hear the loud music. That's what woke me up. And sure enough, so I'm guessing this trip is over. Oh man, what a mess.
James was suddenly awakened by a vehicle speeding through the night, blasting loud music. Moments later, gunshots rang out. Shocked, he rushed outside to find his truck had been shot at. The windows shattered and glass scattered everywhere. With no clue who was behind it or why, James realized how dangerous the situation could have been if they had caught him. He packed up and left right away, later stopping to report the incident to the police. Unfortunately, without a clear description of the vehicle or suspects, there wasn't much the authorities could do. James knew the attackers had no connection to him, and that he wasn't involved in anything that might trigger such violence. It seemed like just bad luck, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Though he escaped unharmed, the damage was a stark reminder of how quickly a peaceful night outdoors can turn into something terrifying. A man was biking along a forest trail with a friend when they noticed a car behind them. Feeling curious and somewhat uneasy, they decided to stop at a hairpin turn to check if the car was really following them. What happened next, however, was completely unexpected. Just like something out of Tokyo Drift, the car slid into the turn and screeched to a stop. A man jumped out, clearly fired up. The creator's friend dropped his bike and got ready to face him, while the creator took off, leaving his friend behind. But halfway through escaping, he had a change of heart, decided to man up, and turned back. That's when things took a turn. The angry man hit the camera, and the footage abruptly cuts out. From what we can tell, the man in the car was the forest owner, furious about the bikers speeding through his land. The actual fight wasn't caught on video, but at the end, the creator says the confrontation didn't end there. The owner kept going and even shared a photo that hints things didn't end in his favor. Maybe next time he should enter a drift competition instead of trying to settle things with a fight. The YouTube channel, Man Dog Wild, follows a man and his dog, Yeti, as they explore the outdoors. In this video, they head out for a solo overnight trip in a quiet forest. At first, it's peaceful. The camper enjoys the scenery and warm weather. He finds a flat spot and sets up a poncho shelter while Yeti explores nearby, but something feels off. Yeti starts acting strange, pausing, staring into the woods, and refusing to lead like she normally does. The camper thinks it's just instincts. Once camp is set up, he makes coffee and tells relaxed stories from past trips, like how important it is to break in hiking boots. But Yeti's tension never really goes away.
She insists that we go and check out this area. Well, Yeti, I don't see much to be shouting about, huh? Why aren't you going in front? You're always in front. Strange. She's always darting off ahead. But today she doesn't want to.
Back at camp, while the camper prepares dinner, Yeti stares into the dark and growls now and then. At one point, she growls and moves towards something outside the shelter. The camper shines his flashlight but sees nothing. Her behavior makes him uneasy, and he admits she's freaking him out. As night falls, things get worse. Yeti barks and growls off and on, focused in one direction. The camper tries to calm her but feels paranoid. He thinks she might smell or sense something he can't. They go to bed, lying on a closed cell mat. He skips the inflatable one to avoid punctures, but Yeti, normally calm, keeps disappearing into the night. Her growls and the silence of the forest make it hard for him to sleep. By morning, he's still on edge. Yeti's behavior all night felt like she was reacting to something real. While packing up, he notices fresh footprints near camp, something he hadn't seen before.
My track. This is not my track. See the different treads. Is there better ones? Look at this. See? That's not my tread. And that's Fred.
The footprints didn't match his boots, and he was sure they weren't there when he got there. That fits with Yeti's barking and growling, showing something or someone was close to their camp overnight. He checked out the direction the tracks came from, but the ground got too rough to follow them clearly. Realizing someone might have been nearby really shook him. He thought maybe a hunter wandered through, but it's not hunting season, and he wondered why anyone would sneak up that close without making a noise. Plus, he didn't see any flashlight beams, which would have definitely woken him up. Before leaving, he said it's a good reminder to trust Yeti's instincts. She picked up on something even if he didn't notice anything weird that night. Exploring the unknown is usually focused on investigating paranormal hotspots, but this video is different. He and his girlfriend went camping deep in the Michigan woods, just for a quiet getaway, not planning to film for the channel. The forest is known for being peaceful, without any animals that usually come near people. They woke up around 4 a.m. to use the bathroom and build a fire, but shortly after, they started hearing noises in the woods, and those sounds seemed to be moving closer.
Alright guys, it's like it's like 4 in the morning. I had to get up to pee, and so did Katana. So we pitched a fire over there. Sorry, the quality is not the best. But off in the distance, I hear like yelping. I hope you guys can hear it.
I cannot hear it, but Brian keeps saying it's there. I keep hearing something in the woods right behind our campsite walking around.
The yelping is coming from this direction.
Are you still hearing the footsteps? Because I'm not.
Yeah. I heard footsteps over here.
Should I grab my flashlight?
I think another light would not hurt.
I just don't want to leave the car by too long of a distance. Which is why I'm like,
Here, I'll come with you.
I'm not seeing or hearing anything.
What's weird is that this happened when we were going to bed too, except without the yelping.
I don't find it that weird. We were hiking up the trail and probably spooked some of the other campers.
That was hours before we went to bed.
I know, but we've done it at night before. Have we not?
Did you hear that?
The branch
Yeah, that sounded big.
could be a little bigger.
Well, it's kind of, I guess, alarming to me that the yelping stopped.
Was that a whistle?
I think so.
Footsteps by that campsite. Dude, literally just... Huh?
What the?
Shall we say something?
Hello?
Was there another... Like, that had to be another camper.
It's 4 in the morning. Who's gonna be up?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's weird. But we're up.
You hear that? No, that.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know. I'm gonna go a little bit faster if you can.
They packed up and took off, and if you're wearing headphones, you can really hear something moving out in the dark. Normally, animals tend to avoid humans or don't hang around, but this didn't seem like an animal. Plenty of viewers have pointed out specific times where they think they saw something possibly Bigfoot. I might be looking in the wrong spot, so if you noticed anything, leave the timestamp in the comments. 2 girls were driving through the Appalachian Mountains when their car suddenly broke down. They got out to check what was wrong, and that's when things took a turn.
We are in the middle of nowhere.
My door is locked. Oh my god. I can't even get out. Can I unlock it? What now?
I guess we'll have to walk to the store.
Hey.
What do we do?
Anyone who knows the Appalachian rules understands this. If a voice sounds close, it's actually far away. And if it sounds far, it's probably right nearby. The girls tried to brush it off and got back in the car, but their nightmare was just beginning.
You'll have to unlock for me.
Something weird has happened with this car.
This
going on? Oh, let's see if it starts. It started.
Moments later, loud banging echoed around them, like something or someone was hitting the car. In a panic, the camera caught what looked like a figure in the window.
Like this. Oh my god. Let's get out of here. Go. Does it run? Is it working?
Shaken but unharmed, the girls were able to get away. What do you think they ran into that night? The YouTube channel, Lost Places and Legends, sent their team deep into the Talladega National Forest to a spot known as Top of the World. What started as a typical exploration quickly turned creepy, like something out of a horror movie. It was freezing, but they were excited to revisit this remote and mysterious place they'd been to years before. The area is known for being unusually silent, and that night was no exception, except for one unsettling detail. They felt like something was watching them.
We could find us a little warm spot too.
So a place with a heater set up.
Right. Well, did you hear that?
Yes. So they go straight down on this side.
Yeah, I heard walking. I heard something, sound like something got kicked or broke or fell or something, I don't know.
Yeah, every part of my body's warm except for my hands.
That's where I'm at with it.
And my nose.
My hands and my right nose. I'd give anything for my old flashlight back. My little hand heater. Or the headlamp that acted like a heater.
That headlamp will burn you up in the summertime.
You sure are awful noisy over there, man.
I know.
Oh. As I step right into some leaves.
That tree right there could put somebody in some pain.
Right.
Because it's got that one pushed over at the top, see it?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's not gonna weather many more storms.
Hear that?
All right then. That was like a little whip.
Right.
That would have hurt if you'd been in front of me.
I know.
I'm hearing something. I got this daggum beanie on, so it's hard to tell.
Is it down over your ears?
Yeah.
See, mine's only at the top of my ears.
Not too bad of a hill.
No.
That's water again. Yep.
I'm assuming it's water.
I don't see it. It's gotta be. Yeah, that's water. What was that? It sounded like it hit a tree right beside you.
I know. Something's throwing things at us, man. I mean, it's gotta be over on this side.
I plan on changing again. As soon as I get the chance.
As soon as you get a chance, you change it again.
I'm gonna change again.
Did you hear that?
Oh, it's right beside me. It's my flashlight. And then it goes completely quiet.
Right.
It wasn't just the strange noises. Viewers also pointed out some odd white lights in the woods that showed up on the video. Whatever was out there, it made the night unforgettable. This guy was recording himself hiking through some thick, dry desert brush. Pretty much his usual thing on his channel, exploring different spots and trails. Everything seemed normal until he heard a car in the distance. At first, he didn't think much of it, but then things took a turn.
Aquí vamos, mi gente, pero como les digo, este desierto es muy traicionero y complicado también. Encontré un arroyito donde corre el agua. Yo veía un carro por ahí. Les digo, aquí andamos en medio de este monte. En partes está muy cerrado y en partes se aclara como ahí. Pero siempre hay que andar con cuidado, mi gente, bien ojo de chícharo, bien trucha. Porque uno no sabe qué se puede uno encontrar aquí en estos desiertos, en estas montañas desérticas que andamos. Vamos a continuar, mi raza. Hoy. Están disparándome. Están disparando por aquel lado. ¿Quién sabe? Hoy nomás. Tan fuertes los disparos, mi gente, por allá. Hoy nomás. Ahí viene otra camioneta y va pasando otra camioneta, miren, y va bien duro ahí en la terracería. Ya va bien duro, mi raza. ¿Qué estará pasando? Yo estoy aquí tirado en el monte. Uy. Y es que pasó una camioneta. Ya había pasado una y ahorita pasó otra. Hoy nomás.
After the gunshot, another truck went past, and that's when the shooting started happening more frequently. Realizing the situation was getting serious, the creator dropped down and stayed as close to the ground as possible to avoid getting hit by stray bullets. I'm honestly not sure what to make of it. Do you think it was just some people testing their guns or hunting? Or maybe it was something more intense, like an actual fight? It's hard to say. Hopefully, everything ended okay. He kept low until the shooting stopped and thankfully made it out safe and unharmed. What's your take on this? Was it just bad luck or something more dangerous? Share your thoughts in the comments. Mandog Wild is a channel that follows a man and his loyal dog as they head out on camping adventures. In this particular clip, things take a terrifying turn during one of their solo trips deep in a range of remote sandy mountains. What starts as a typical outing quickly becomes one of their most unsettling experiences yet.
It's been it's pretty hard getting here. And then trying to go to those caves, or going to the caves and then for nothing. But yeah, I think we're both knackered out. So, and that'll be it for us in the tent. We'll catch you guys in the morning. Yeti, let's go. Good girl, Yeti. Good girl. I heard footsteps from a person. No. I hear something coming from just down the hill. Something coming from all the way downhill down there. It sounds like water sloshing. I'm not going to go and find out. Yeti's just sleeping. She's just sleeping. I mean, she's never like this. Every time I get out the tent, I go anywhere, she stays with me. She's sleeping. I don't know what's up with her today. Hey, Esther. Good girl. Good girl. In a way, Yeti's just a sense of calm, not being bothered. Kind of.
It was the middle of the night, and both the man and his dog were sound asleep when he suddenly heard footsteps outside the tent. Someone was walking around. Frozen with fear, he stayed silent and kept his dog from waking up, not wanting to draw attention. Once the footsteps faded, he grabbed his torch and cautiously searched the area, but found nothing. No one was there. Shaken, he returned to the tent where his dog was just starting to stir. Still rattled, but knowing there wasn't much he could do in the dark, he waited out the rest of the night and packed up to leave as soon as the sun came up. Tom's Trails, a YouTube channel known for outdoor adventures, shared a chilling experience in his latest video, dated March 9th, 2025. Tom set out on his first ever bivvy wild camping, heading deep into the woods with his friend Matt. Excited, but a bit nervous, he was eager to spend a night under the stars with minimal gear. What started as a simple outdoor trip quickly took a disturbing turn. Tom had long hoped to camp in these woods, and the conditions were perfect. A cool but comfortable 8 degrees Celsius, clear skies, and almost no chance of rain. As he set up camp, a persistent nervousness crept over him. Brushing it off as first-time jitters, he focused on settling in. The two friends lay out their bivy bags and cooked a meal over a small fire. The forest was eerily quiet except for the occasional rustling leaves and distant animal calls, gentle reminders they weren't completely alone. After their meal, they relaxed by the fire, soaking in the peacefulness of nature. But as night fell deeper, the mood shifted. Tom suddenly felt an unsettling sensation, as if unseen eyes were watching them.
Some activity. There's been some like deers and foxes running around. One got really close and then bolted and heard me move. Been a lot of stuff going on, but it's not been like scary. It's been quite nice and relaxing. It's been crazy warm as well.
The wind had quieted, and the usual sounds of the forest at night faded into a haunting stillness. Tom tried to shake off the uneasy feeling, blaming it on paranoia. But then the noises started. At first, they were barely noticeable, blending with the crackle of the fire. Soon, clear, purposeful sounds rang out, twigs snapping in a steady rhythm, as if something or someone was walking just out of sight. Tom and Matt exchanged nervous glances, trying to make sense of the sounds. These weren't normal forest noises. They followed a pattern and intention. Each time they thought the sounds stopped, another twig snapped closer than before. Tom told himself it was probably an animal, maybe a deer passing by, but something felt wrong. Deer usually bolt at the first sign of danger. This presence was different. It wasn't fleeing, it was moving closer, watching and testing them. Lying awake, every small noise sent chills through Tom. Just as he was about to fall into a restless sleep, a new, much closer sound emerged. A soft but clear rustling came from near their camp. Tom held his breath, listening carefully. Before he could react, something brushed against his bivvy bag. It wasn't the wind or just his imagination. Something or someone was right there. Then he heard footsteps, slow and deliberate, retreating into the darkness. Tom wanted to convince himself it was an animal, but animals don't act that way. They don't approach with such purpose, get close enough to touch, and then quietly vanish into the night. Whatever had been near their camp had a reason. It had observed them, tested their presence, and left without leaving any trace. The rest of the night passed in uneasy silence. By morning, the forest seemed normal, as if nothing unusual had happened, but Tom knew better. What was meant to be a simple bivvy wild camp had turned into something far more unsettling. To this day, he still doesn't know what was lurking in those woods that night, but one thing is certain, he won't be going back anytime soon. The team behind Project Purgatory arrived at the estate late at night, prepared to explore the abandoned grounds with cameras in hand, hoping to capture any paranormal activity. The estate was well known for its haunted reputation, with numerous visitors recounting eerie sounds, shadowy apparitions, and a heavy atmosphere of discomfort. But as the group delved further into the property, they soon discovered that the scariest part of their night wouldn't come from ghosts at all. It would come from the people they encountered there.
Let's get this thing done, man. I feel like a cop. Y'all always keep your ears on the smooth.
Oh man.
This is deja vu, bro. This exact moment is deja vu. That's so crazy.
We've been here before.
This is deja vu of a deja vu moment.
So you always knew you was gonna be a ghost hunter, huh?
You said that exact same thing. Crazy, bro. I might be a medium.
I'm gonna be over here. You see that shooting star?
At first, everything appeared normal. The dark, overgrown paths were still and silent, with no unusual sounds or visible signs of ghostly presence. But then, up ahead, they noticed a group of people standing together in a circle, completely motionless and shrouded in silence.
Yeah. Hey.
Bro, what? I don't even...
Okay.
Walking through, we see a group standing around in a circle. Two of them laughing for no reason. We start walking, we see one pop up behind a bush, just standing there straight staring at us. The group, all in a circle, starts looking at us while we walk by them, and then they start following us as we walk by them. So we all gotta... Nah, this ain't one of them ones, bro. This ain't one of them ones. I'll off a cliff with me. I'm surviving, bro. That's all I know.
Bro, I'll tell you what. Ghosts are one thing. People.
You see the dude in black just standing there looking at us?
Yeah, popped up out of the bush.
Bro, make sure you keep it. You hear?
Why are they following us right now?
They're following us, bro. They're following us.
I know they're following us.
They're following us. Come on, come on.
Yo, don't put the light this way. I can't see that way.
They're following us, bro.
The way those people stood still in the darkness felt almost ritualistic, like they were conducting some sort of ceremony. The group paused, whispering among themselves about what to do. But before they could act, a man dressed in black appeared from the bushes and silently stared at them. The entire group fell quiet. The strangers stayed motionless, simply watching until one of them finally broke the silence and spoke.
Is that them?
Yeah.
All right. They're coming up on them. Come on.
Dude, I'm not sticking around. Let's move.
I feel like they're surrounding us.
Get him. You just say get him? Yeah, I'm not sticking around.
The phrase, "get them with the lights," sparked a surge of fear in the team. It was clear they were unwelcome, but what exactly did that mean? Were the strangers intending to hunt them down, trap them, or attack? Not wanting to take any chances, the group quickly chose to leave right away.
Well, it's been a very eventful night, guys. We got to hear and see a few things.
Tonight was an event.
They quickly turned back, picking up their pace, but trying to stay calm. Fortunately, they weren't followed. Their original plan was to investigate ghosts, but instead, they had come across something potentially much more dangerous. Later, when reviewing their footage, they realized just how strange the encounter had been. It wasn't only the odd group standing silently in a circle, it was how they responded to the team's presence. Their stillness, their silence, and the eerie command to get them with the lights made the experience even more unsettling. The team admitted that although they were used to exploring haunted places, this was one of the rare occasions they truly felt unsafe, not because of spirits, but because of other people. Sometimes the most frightening things lurking in the dark aren't ghosts or monsters, but real people with unknown intentions. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.